spend time with. I would love to have kids and, you know, take notes on what he did as a father, but he was always on our level in a way, but I don't feel that he made it a point that he didn't want people to speak to us as children. He wanted them to speak to us as an adult.
Years after Michael Jackson's passing, the world is still curious about the lives of his children. Prince, Paris, and Biggie are no longer the little kids fans remember from old photos and public moments. Today, they have grown into adults with their own dreams, choices, and identities. From charity work to music, acting, and filmmaking, each of them is building a life in their own way, while still carrying the Jackson name and staying connected as a family.
It is funny, we do tend to stick with entertainment though. Like my brothers are going into film.
Oh, nice.
Like, yeah, we tend to kind of stay in the arts
Totally.
regardless.
And
Grow up, I don't know if it's nature versus nurture, but it's definitely.
That journey begins with Prince, who has become one of the most visible of Michael's children in recent years. Prince graduated from Loyola Marymount University in 2019 with a business administration degree. Away from school, he enjoys motorcycles and shares California rides on his YouTube channel, along with movie reviews featuring Bigi and Taj Jackson. While in college, he also co-founded Heal Los Angeles, which helped deliver meals to people in need during the pandemic. Prince said, "I would like to think that he would be very proud, because I think this was one of his main goals, was not only to spread his message of positivity and happiness, but to see it enacted in his kids," he told Entertainment Tonight in April 2020. He added, "I'm very grateful that I have this feeling that it's this collaborative ecosystem. We all need to help each other, and that came from the way that he raised us." That emotional connection to his father was also clear in October 2022, when Prince attended an event marking 40 years of Thriller, and during the celebration, he opened up to people about the thing he misses most about his father. "I think about him every day. What I miss probably the most about him are his hands. He had really strong, really big hands, firm, but they were gentle. It's tough to explain." From Prince's story, the focus then moves to Paris, whose journey has been much more public and emotional. Paris Michael Catherine Jackson was born on April 3, 1998 in Los Angeles to Michael Jackson and Debbie Rowe. Her name honored Paris, her father, and her grandmother Catherine. Like Prince, her godparents were Macaulay Culkin and Elizabeth Taylor. After Michael's death in 2009, Paris faced serious personal struggles and later spoke openly about her mental health battles. She said, "It was just self-hatred, low self-esteem, thinking that I couldn't do anything right, not thinking I was worthy of living anymore." During her teenage years, Paris also began rebuilding her bond with her mother, Debbie Rowe. Speaking about their relationship, she said, "Getting to know her, seeing how similar we are, getting into what kind of music she likes. We look a lot alike. It's just cool having her as a friend. It's very chill, which I love." That's the perfect word to describe it. Then there is Biggie, Michael's youngest child, who has mostly chosen a quieter life away from constant attention. In November 2021, Biggie gave a rare public interview where he shared, "That's what each of us want to do, make things that people enjoy, but also benefit their lives." And that sense of purpose can also be seen in Biggie's concern for the planet. Michael Jackson's youngest child has shown a strong interest in raising awareness about climate change. He said, "I do think it's important we all know about it. We have some work to do, but our generation knows how important it is." From there, Prince's public life gives a clearer picture of how the Jackson children are trying to move forward. Back in 2019, he appeared at his yearly Halloween event, which was created to support his charity, the Heal Los Angeles Foundation. At that time, he had just finished his studies at Loyola Marymount University, and people were curious about what he planned to do next. Instead of chasing fame only because of his last name, Prince spoke about building something meaningful for himself. His focus was not just on being Michael Jackson's son, but on using his platform to help others. That moment showed how much he had grown, from a child the world once watched closely into a young man trying to make his own impact. For Prince, the next chapter was about purpose, responsibility, and carrying his father's caring spirit forward.
I feel like the world is my oyster now. I have so many different opportunities. I feel that my time is best devoted to the nonprofit right now because that's where my passion lies and that's where I feel I will get the most out of my life. I still have a creative bug and I'm figuring out how I'm fitting into the entertainment industry. I really have a few projects that I'm really working on, but I want to make sure they're solidified before I talk about them. But definitely excited to see what the future holds for me. It's somewhere in the entertainment with the philanthropic side of it for sure, though, I think.
That same connection to his father's legacy became even more emotional when Prince spoke about the new Michael movie. This was not just another film for him. It was a story about his own family, his father's life, and the memories that still mean so much to fans around the world. Prince also had the chance to be involved in the project, which made the experience feel even more personal. Seeing his cousin Jafar Jackson step into Michael's role was powerful because it was not only about copying the moves or wearing the outfits, it was about capturing the heart, the pressure, and the magic that made Michael unforgettable. For Prince, watching that transformation brought pride, emotion, and reflection. It reminded people that Michael Jackson's story is not only about fame, but also about family, sacrifice, and the legacy he left behind.
I had just a lot of pride and love because so much work and hard work and dedication from everyone went into this. And it's really gratifying because I think that leading up to the release of the film, the critics were coming out, and as is usual, I think that mainstream media and institutions bet against my father.
Bad move.
You know, and he always was, is, and always will be a man of the people. And I think that the people have spoken, and they've shown that he still very much is the king. I think certainly seeing my cousin Jafar in person, in his hair and makeup for one of our early camera tests, really was, it's hard to explain what it felt like because I hadn't seen my dad in a long time, and for a split second, he was there. Still to this day, I'm realizing the impact that he had. I'm so blessed to travel the world, and everywhere I go, someone always has a story about my dad and how he changed their life. And the older I get, the more and more I appreciate it, the more and more I realize it. But even after seeing the response to the release of the film, so many people are saying that they feel inspired now, that they want to go and pursue their dreams. And that was a hope for us when telling this story, is my father is an inspiration, and we want to reignite that inspiration to the people. And so for me to be hearing this from people I know or people I don't know on the internet expressing how inspired they are is such an incredible experience.
And while the movie reminded Prince of Michael's public greatness, his own memories showed the private side of his father. To the world, Michael was a legend, but to Prince, he was simply his father. Behind the cameras, the crowds, and the famous name, there were quiet moments that shaped who he became. Prince shared how his childhood was filled with lessons about kindness, respect, hard work, and helping people who needed support. He gave fans a look at the side of Michael they did not always get to see, the father who taught his children values away from the spotlight. These memories made the conversation feel deeper because it showed that Michael's legacy was not only built through music and performance, it also lived in the way he raised his children and the lessons they still carry with them today.
As I've gotten older, I've learned that a lot of what I think is normal life is not normal life. Growing up at Neverland with my siblings and my father, for us, it was hanging out together as a family, but with the backdrop of elephants and giraffes walking in the background. We spent a lot of time playing board games together, reading books, watching movies. It truly was and is magical. It felt like your own personal Disney. When he played with us, he played with us. You know, he got down and he was playing with the toys and making up stories, or we'd play board games. He just had a very childlike nature that was so much fun. Always playing pranks on people and stuff. Yeah.
I love that. I remember you telling me about the first time he showed you the Thriller music video.
Yes.
Were you freaking out because you're already young?
Terrified. Yeah, and I wasn't really expecting it. And also he told us that it was real, like it wasn't special effects or anything like that. So again, playing into the prank, right? And it happened to be a full moon that was that night. So he started acting like his stomach was hurting. We just took off running.
That made Prince's view of fame even more interesting. He explained how unusual his childhood really was, even though it felt normal to him at the time. He said he was born into a world where his father was already surrounded by fans, cameras, hotels, security, and worldwide attention. As a child, that kind of fame was simply part of his everyday life. But as he got older, he began to understand that Michael's fame was not normal at all. Seeing people cry, scream, and even faint over his father made him realize how powerful Michael's impact truly was. Even today, Prince says he is still learning how big that legacy really is. But beyond the fame, what inspires him most is his father's hard work, discipline, and love for his craft. To Prince, Michael was not only his dad, he was also a man whose greatness continues to push him forward.
Your father at one point was undoubtedly probably the most famous person in the world. I mean, it was just incredible. How did you sort of take that, the fact that your father was that famous? Did you realize that at the time? Did you ever sort of see your father sort of experiencing that, and sort of what was he like behind closed doors? What's your memories of the fame that your father held for such a long time?
It's very interesting for me because I was born into it. You know, I was born in '97 during the middle of the history tour, so he had, I never knew what it was like to not be famous in that way. So anytime that we were traveling around, going to different hotels, there was always people surrounding him. And for me, that just kind of felt normal. Where I felt that I started to realize that this was something more than that, and I know I've talked about it before, is when I started watching videos of men fainting over my dad, and I was just like, that doesn't happen all the time. And even now, I'm still understanding the full weight of his legacy. As I grow up, as I learn more about his history, as I meet more people that worked with him, his impact is so much deeper than I think that I could ever fully comprehend. And I always, it's gratifying for me. I have so much love for my father as a human being, as my father, but the work that he put into his profession and the dedication that he had to it is inspirational, and it pushes me to go forward and to be better. But I also like to just take a moment, sit back and be like, my dad really was the greatest.
And while Prince continues to understand the size of his father's legacy, Paris has had to face that same legacy in a very different way. Her journey has been very different, but just as powerful in its own way. Growing up with the Jackson name meant the world always had opinions about who she was before she even had the chance to understand herself. For Paris, that pressure was not easy. She had to deal with fame, judgment, personal pain, and the loss of her father while still trying to become her own person. Over time, she found ways to express what she was feeling through music, art, and spirituality. Her creativity became a way to heal, speak honestly, and take control of her own story. Instead of living only as Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris has worked to build a life that feels true to her. Her story is about pain, growth, recovery, and learning how to stand in the world as herself.
I started learning guitar around 13, 14.
Okay.
I learned mostly on YouTube, and kind of plateaued for a while because I learned enough chords to be able to write. And then in the last few years started exploring more with bar chords, which I swore off for so long, and now I'll write with them.
Why'd you swear them off?
Because they're hard.
Yeah?
Yeah, bar chords are...
Were you resistant to pursuing music in any way?
Yeah, but I've kind of suppressed it as a hobby.
Yeah.
Because of some obvious reasons, and also because I just didn't think I was good enough. And then I just loved it so much that I was like, who cares? I'm just going to do it.
Was there one thing that stands out for you where you're like, nope, that's not me?
I think probably most of it. I haven't been looking as of recent. And that's been really helpful. I'm a lot happier these days, and I'm like, I should just keep that going and not look at these things, because that does chip away at my happiness.
Yeah, don't read the
So
comments.
I've been looking, but yeah, a lot of the stuff that I had seen in the past, most of it, isn't really accurate. There's nothing off the top of my head that I can think of.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe I hate the term spoiled brat.
Yeah.
I hate that a lot. Because
that.
there was a lot about my upbringing that was silver spoon-esque, but there was so much of it that had to be earned. There was very much a focus on developing a work ethic. And so I did see something recently where it's you don't have to work, and it's no, I do.
That struggle shaped much of Paris's path, shaped by memories from her childhood and the pain of losing her father at such a young age. For years, people looked at her through the shadow of the Jackson name, but she slowly began to find out who she really was beyond the famous family story. Her journey has not been simple. She has faced sadness, public pressure, and moments where she had to rebuild herself from the inside. But through music, honesty, and self-reflection, Paris found a way to turn her pain into strength. She started choosing her own direction, making her own decisions, and living in a way that feels real to her. Her story is not just about being Michael Jackson's daughter. It is about healing, growing, accepting herself, and creating a life that belongs to her.
You need to go on social media on your dad's birthday or his death day or Father's Day, and you need to post. And you need to basically mimic how a fan would express their love. But for me, I had a personal relationship, not a parasocial relationship. So I'm now learning I can have my own personal relationship, and I'm allowed to be private about it. And I'm allowed, and now my relationship is the most beautiful relationship ever. I'm in a very beautiful spot with my dad, and I love that. And it's no one's business.
Yeah.
And I don't have to share that with anybody. And there's a lot of freedom in that, which is really cool. But just, I'm not gonna express my love in a copycat way, copying someone that didn't know him.
Sure.
Because I did.
And Paris has also been open about the darker side of growing up in the public eye. Being known everywhere and judged by strangers from a young age left deep marks on her life. She has spoken about how the pressure, attention, and pain affected her mental health, and how there were times when everything felt too heavy to carry. Losing her father so young made that struggle even harder because she had to grieve while the whole world was watching. But through those painful moments, music became one of the things that helped her survive. It gave her a place to put her sadness, anger, and confusion without having to explain everything. For Paris, music is not just a career or a hobby. It became a way to heal, breathe, and slowly turn her hardest experiences into something meaningful.
I experience audio hallucinations sometimes of camera clicks and severe paranoia, and have been going to therapy for a lot of things, but that included, and I've like started EMDR.
Like you hear camera
I'll hear
clicks?
like a trash bag rustling and I like flinch and panic.
Is that from the paparazzi?
Yeah, I think it's just like, it's just standard PTSD.
That is why her thoughts on the new movie about her father carry so much emotion. For her, the film is not just about showing Michael Jackson as a superstar with sold-out shows, famous songs, and unforgettable performances. She wants people to see the human side too. The father, the artist, the dreamer, and the person behind the name that became known around the world. After everything her family has been through, the movie carries a lot of emotion because it gives a new generation a chance to understand Michael in a deeper way. Paris knows that many people already have opinions about him, but she hopes the story can remind viewers of his heart, his work, and the impact he left behind. For her, it is about honoring the truth of who her father really was.
I really appreciated the sentiment of it because, you know, there's lots of miscommunications and things get twisted and all that. I think I responded to him probably a couple months ago at this point. I just sent like a voice memo telling him I appreciated him as an artist and like, you know, wishing him and my cousin success and joy and happiness.
What's the story you want out there about your dad?
Love and light.
And that connection to her father's story became even stronger when Paris remembered watching him rehearse.
Our classroom, like we were homeschooled, like it would be underneath where, it would be underneath his bedroom, and he would always be dancing, so you'd always just hear stomping and stomping, and then like dust from the lights would come down. He promised me he would teach me how to moonwalk. Never got around to it.
Did you guys ever dance together or practice in the studio?
Sometimes, like he taught me how to like pop and lock a little bit, but.
Did you guys ever sing together or anything?
Yeah, he taught me a lot of keys. He taught me how to go like really high and then like really low. That's why I'm able to do soprano and in choir. I mean, he was very loved all around the world. He was also really hated, but the only reason he was hated was because people were jealous of him.
Hated? I don't know. It's a strong word.
A lot of people there are a lot of bad people out there. Well, we were like, he was my best friend. Yeah. We were kind of like the pranksters. He taught me a lot of really good pranks. And every time like we had guests, like we had like family or like the cousins or just like family friends, like we would always mess with them. It was it's fun.
Then the story turns to Biggie, Michael Jackson's youngest child, who has always lived much more privately than his older siblings. Because he rarely speaks in public, even a small interview with him gives fans a rare look into his world.
There's a lot of really cool stuff here. I think there's a lot of history in this house and the studio here. That's what he was all about, and that's just kind of what each of us want to do, and kind of makes things that people hopefully enjoy but also can benefit their lives.
And just like his siblings, Biggie has shown that he wants his life to stand for something meaningful.
To call on world leaders to do more to tackle the problem.
I do think it's important that we all know about it, and I think we have some work to do, but our generation knows how important it is.
After looking at each of their separate paths, Prince also spoke about the bond that keeps all three siblings connected.
When we were growing up, my father would say, we could have nothing, but you look around in this room, your brother, your sister, and me, that's all you'll ever have. And that always stuck with my siblings and I, and we have such a close relationship. And because I'm the oldest, you know, my father would always tell me I have to make sure that the group is taken care of and that I have to kind of be the leader and lead by example. But after his passing and kind of us being thrown into the quote-unquote real world, my siblings, honestly, they picked up the slack that I unfortunately left behind.
And as Prince explained, their relationship has changed as they have gotten older. When they were younger, he may have naturally felt like the older brother who had to guide and protect Paris and Biggie. But now, Things feel more equal between them. They are all adults, each making their own choices and finding their own place in the world. Prince no longer sees their bond as one person leading and the others following. Instead, it feels more like a team built on respect, love, and understanding. Their connection has grown with them.
My sister has her strengths and my brother has his strengths, and where I'm not as strong in certain areas, they complement me in that way. Any moment that I get to spend with my siblings now, especially as we're getting older, you know, and our own lives are starting to kind of blossom and grow, every moment that I get with them, any little family dinner, any family outing is really a special moment for me.
Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next story.